Hey everybody, it's Kent. I have two small piles of books to show off to you tonight. Tonight's theme is Americana, so most of these books are on American history or early American printed books. So first, we have the annual register for the year 1776. You can imagine that this is collectible because it has the Declaration of Independence. This is a fourth edition published in 1788. The first edition would have been published in 1777, but still cool to have such an early book with the Declaration of Independence in it. I'll show you reasons assigned by the Continental Congress for the North American colonies and provinces withdrawing their allegiance to the King of Great Britain. In Congress, July 4th, 1776. Very cool. Next, we have the annual register for the year 1787. This one has the Constitution of the United States. This one was published in 1789. Articles of the Constitution of the United States of America entered into the Convention of all States held at New York and transmitted to Congress for their approbation by General Washington, President of the Convention, on the 17th September 1787. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Article 1, Section 1. All legislative powers herein granted shall be veiled in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. Very cool. Next, this book is just a collection of sermons related to funeral sermons, Thanksgiving sermons, Christmas sermons, Easter sermons, that kind of stuff. And the first one is probably the most exciting. A eulogy memorialized on the illustrious character of the late General George Washington, who died on Saturday, the 14th day of December, 1799. And this was printed in 1800. Not going to show you any of the other ones because the book is very fragile. Up next, we have a medical book. It is Domestic Medicine, or The Family Physician, by William Buchan. This was printed in Philadelphia by John Dunlap in 1772. So if you know much about American history, you'll know that John Dunlap was the one that, after the Declaration of Independence was written and signed, he took the text and went to his print shop and printed up a couple hundred broadsides to be distributed all over the colonies. So John Dunlap is a pretty significant person in American history. He also did some other print work during the Revolutionary War. Up next, we have A Manual of Parliamentary Practice for the Use of the Senate of the United States by Thomas Jefferson. Third edition, published in 1813. And there's some signatures in this one that I have not been able to decipher. So if you can figure out what those names are, and I guess if they have any significance, please help me out. Again, pretty cool. Parliamentary Practice book by Thomas Jefferson. Up next, this is just an old religious book. Some account of the life and gospel labors of William Reckitt, also memoirs of the life, religious experiences, and gospel labors of James Gow, published in Philadelphia in 1783. A lot of the books, kind of pre-1800, printed in the U.S. were mostly religious books, and even, I guess, into the 1800s, a lot of the books were religious books. Up next, we have a short introduction to grammar. This one was published in Philadelphia in 1788. You can see the worms liked eating on this one. And there is a name written of the original owner, but I cannot decipher what that first name is. Any idea what that says? It kind of looks like JEFSE, or I don't know what that first letter is. I'm not completely sure. So if you can help me out figuring out that name, please drop it in the comments. And then actually the second owner, John Johnson, 1841. So that's pretty cool. Up next, we have the Charters of the British Colonies in America. This was printed in 1774. So it is a really, really cool piece of American history. The contents, you can see it has the charters for Massachusetts Bay, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Georgia. Let's see, I marked out the Pennsylvania one. Pennsylvania Charter, granted by King Charles II in the 14th year of his reign. Charles II, to all to whom these presents shall come, greetings. Whereas our truly and well-beloved subject, William Penn, Esquire, son and heir of Sir William Penn, deceased, out of commendable desire to enlarge our British Empire and promote such useful commodities as may be benefit to us and our dominions, as also to reduce the savage natives by gentle and just manners to the love of civil society and Christian religion, hath humbly besought leave us to transport an ample colony upon a certain country wherein, after described, in the parts of America not yet cultivated and planted, etc., etc., etc. And again, someone paid a lot of money to have a nice leather binding put on that one. Lastly, we have a 2-volume set here. This is the history of the colony of Massachusetts Bay from the first settlement thereof in 1628 until its incorporation with the colony of Plymouth, province of Maine, etc., by Mr. Hutchinson. This is the second edition. Volume 1 is published in 1765. Volume 2 was published in 1768. And again, a really, really nice binding. This one's not super rare. You can always find copies on Abe Books. But this one just has a nice leather binding. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.